0-2 just doesn't hit me the way that all the stats that I scrounged up about 0-2 are going to hit, I think, everybody else hearing them. I just am not worried.
Amateur Hour. Jeez, podcast. Amateur Hour. Jeez, podcast. Amateur Hour podcast on KC Sports Network. Amateur on KC Sports Network. Hour on KC Sports Network. Podcast on KC Sports Net. We're gonna talk Chiefs football for you, and you, and you, and you.
What is this, amateur hour?
Yeah, I ain't no Superman businessman like you. You know, I'm just an
Amateur.
I suppose.
Amateur Hour.
Is what's happening.
Amateur Hour.
Is what's happening.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
Yeah, that's right, folks. The show is called Amateur Hour. I'm Ryan Scott Hall. And joining me today, my partner for all 14 seasons of Amateur Hour is Dirkness.
Sup?
Yeah. How was your Sunday, Dirk?
Hey, Sunday was something. At some point, Tom Brady blurted out on the podcast, not on the podcast. He blurted out on the broadcast. That was painful to watch. I'm not even sure what he was referring to, but as those words were rattling around in my head, that exact moment, I realized I don't know if I've had a worse Chiefs viewing experience in a long time, which sounds bizarre since we are all of 2 games removed from getting absolutely obliterated on the world's biggest stage. But at least I got to watch that, because the Chiefs game being on while not being able to watch, and YouTube TV, despite providing NFL Sunday Ticket and not giving me any option whatsoever to watch the game, while I missed the entire first quarter, and I'm forced to watch Giants and Cowboys in a Dirk measuring contest to see who can possibly go 6-11, all while Red Zone is showing the same fucking game, and then they're cutting to the Panthers in the Red Zone. Oh, man. Absolute torturous. Like, there is a Super Bowl rematch going on right now. So then we come back, immediately go to commercial. The Eagles just run the ball down the field, score a touchdown, then 2 more commercial breaks. And I just couldn't settle. I couldn't get over that. I was livid. I couldn't get over this until about halftime. I couldn't settle into the game until about halftime. I know this was nothing for you or anybody in Kansas City, but I know we have a lot of listeners that are not in Kansas City. And this was it was terrible. It took all the steam out of me for the game, and I was super excited. I mean, I was so pumped for this game going in. Like, we get to see where this team's at, see where they respond, a Super Bowl rematch. Let's get some revenge. I hate the Eagles. And then it was just a whole first quarter of nothing. I didn't get to watch. I didn't get to enjoy it at all. Rattled me for the rest of the game. And then the game was just boring. It was just, the Eagles are just a boring team to watch. Game was boring. Whole thing. Blah. That's it.
You didn't say that the Chiefs are boring.
They are boring. They are boring.
They're boring.
They're a slog.
The Chiefs are boring. Look, I don't even think that it's like bad or wrong to say that at this point, because look, but by God, Mahomes is trying to make it interesting. He's trying to make it as exciting as possible. You know, he's willing this team as much as he can. And ultimately, I think the weird part of the viewing experience for me on Sunday, even though I saw every minute of the game largely, I don't know if I have gone into a non-week 17 or 18 we're benching the starters regular season game, maybe in the entire Mahomes era, where I was just like, I don't think we're going to win today.
Yep.
I think it's the very, very first time where I just didn't think that they were going to win the game before it even started. And I don't even think I feel that bad about that fact. Like it's real, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, who cares? Because their top two receivers were out, and we played what many people believe is the best roster in the NFL. I mean, we hear about all the great things that Howie's able to do, and this, that, and the other. I mean, he just is at the top of everybody's list, and everybody's seen. I mean, certainly last year, I know they lost a lot of talent, so I don't know if everyone thinks they're still number one most talented team in the league, but the Chiefs played them close, and statistically, it's all but the one turnover. You know, this was a very evenly matched game, and the Chiefs kind of, you know, in some ways, I feel like they gave it away. But I still, when I came, like walking into the game, I didn't think that they were gonna play them that close. I think I believed in Philadelphia's talent advantage going into this game more than it bared out on the field. And that to me is actually like a positive that I take away from it, despite going into it thinking, I don't really have high expectations today.
Yeah, I mean, I was not ultra confident either. So I'm kind of right there with you. I think I mean, it's a Chiefs Mystique thing. Whether that's a big deal or not remains to be seen. Does that kind of take some of our invincibility off the board when playing some of these teams? Like, we kind of, how many wins did our Mystique, quote unquote, get us last year? You know, how many, you know, the Texans, I think of that playoff game against the Texans, and they come in with the attitude like, we're going to have to overcome them and the refs. And it was just such a losing attitude that it was just like, the Chiefs are in their head. Like, the Chiefs are already up 10 points on the Texans going into this playoff game because their heads are not in the right mind space. So that may be gone at this point. You know, there's not a whole lot of refs talk going on about the Chiefs right now, but the refs favor the Chiefs. So that specific thought's definitely gone. But I think teams are just coming in like the Giants. How are they going to feel coming against this team? I don't think they'll be afraid. So, you know, it's just kind of, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And it's just, it's a good refresher of, you know, this team feels a lot like last year. And NFL nerds will tell you over and over about how one score wins and losses, one score games can swing either way. And a lot of that is just kind of, you don't want to call it luck, because it's a lot of times it's just one or two plays and it's making that play. But it can easily swing the other way, even for a team as good as the Chiefs at winning these type of games with Patrick Mahomes, who's one of the best players alive of all time. In that situation, it can still swing the other way. So we could be looking at like the exact same quality team who goes 15-1, call it 15-2 last year, and be the exact same kind of team, but just, you know, have 5 different plays go the other way. And now all of a sudden they're like a 10-7 team. Which I think a lot of people said last year. I think Chiefs fans fought it off for a lot of the year, and deservedly so. And then in the playoffs, you know, they kind of won their 2 AFC games at least handily. I mean, no luck going on there. Close one with the Bills, obviously. But they kind of proved that they were, you know, legitimate of making it that far, and then got their asses kicked in the Super Bowl, obviously. But I mean, you could call that a positive or a negative, that they kind of looked the same as last year. But that same kind of team as last year could have a much worse record this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think.
I mean, there are some positives. I mean, I'm agree with you. Like, it's it's without a doubt a top 3 talented team in the NFL, and we're right there. And you can say the offense was inept, and it's an easy solution. Like, hey, these 2 receivers are going to hopefully come back. And so they'll be a much better team. Like, there were some positives, especially on the defensive side. Like, they played way better than I expected them to. There were some positives to take away from this game. It's just hard to be ultra positive with the Chiefs at this point in time, which I think is normal for an 0-2 football team.
I just like 0-2 just doesn't hit me the way that all the stats that I scrounged up about 0-2 are going to hit, I think, everybody else hearing them. I just am not worried really at all. And I mean, I think I even telegraphed that. So the Chiefs could like lose by 50 and I wouldn't be worried. I think I'm enthusiastic about outgaining largely what is considered the best offense in the NFL when we did not have our 2 receivers that are
saying like Eagles. The Eagles are the best offense in the NFL.
I mean, okay, so like to start the year, they're not at their full capacity, but if we're talking about 5 offensive linemen, quarterback, running back, tight end, 2 receivers, like a just the way that they line up, they're better than anybody. I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year, and like they didn't really lose anything on offense. Mekhi Becton, they lost, I believe, on offense.
I'll push back on them being the best offense, but call it maybe 5th best.
Okay, I mean they are a healthy and largely very talented unit.
It might be the most talented offense outside of the quarterback in the NFL.
Sure, right? And the Chiefs are out there down their top 2 receivers. And no running game to speak of, really. And they were, a whisker away from winning this football game. I just think that for as plodding as the offense looks right now, it's there is I'm feeling optimistic, Dirk. I'm feeling like we're on our way. We're on our way. We are down at 0-2, sure.
Keep that off the camera, Ryan. I don't know what that was rising up.
But I think
oh my
I'm feeling optimistic. We're on the up of the roller coaster. We're on our way up.
YouTube has sensors, right? We can censor that out. Oh, keep it below the frame. Below the frame.
Here's a actual question. Are the Chiefs soft?
Oh, okay.
So I think that they are a tough football team. I think that they're a resilient football team. I think that they're a determined football team, at least historically. Like, there's a bunch of things I can say that they are. They're battle tested, even. But I think they're soft. And really where this comes from for me, I think, is that like in short yardage situations, they seem largely indecisive. We've long talked about having, arguably the best interior offensive line in the NFL and not being able to gain a yard. Ultimately, I think that the run game in general is like where teams are supposed to be physical on offense. Like that's what we think of, right? You got to run the ball down their throats. And like, that's not ever gonna happen with Andy Reid as your head coach, unless like the weather's really bad and you're playing in Buffalo and it's 4 years ago or 6 years ago or whatever. Like it's just not part of what Andy does. And so I don't know if they can even prove me wrong. Like I don't even know if they've got it in the game plan or the scheme to go out there and run the football, like power run the ball at people. I mean, you've seen these rushing numbers through 2 weeks, right?
I mean, I've watched the game, or at least most of the game. I don't know what happened in that first quarter, but I assume we couldn't run the ball in that quarter either. I'm just going to make an assumption we could not run the ball.
Through 2 weeks, Patrick Mahomes has more rushing yards than all of our running backs combined. All of them. And
He's for 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards. He was trying to figure out what more he could do to add to his resume. Like, he's accomplished so much for a quarterback. He's like, I mean, only really Brady shines above him in terms of accomplishments. What else can I do? Brady never rushed for 1,000 fucking yards. Not even close.
I don't think Brady ever crossed 100 yards, maybe. I think I just I'm a little concerned that the ground game just isn't a threat at all, and so no one has to respect it. And so they're just going to play the pass. Like I saw a stat, and we'll need to get to break here in a second, but I saw a stat that is just preposterous. Isiah Pacheco is negative 17 in expected yards gained through 2 games. Negative 17 expected yards.
He's getting hit and running backwards. He has a negative yards after contact. This is a guy that I was like, watch out, folks. He's about to have this huge like contract year season, and like he's not even the starting running back on this team, man. And through these 2 weeks of watching Kareem Hunt and Isiah Pacheco alternate, Kareem Hunt, I think, is an effective player. He's fine. He is not dynamic by any stretch of the imagination, but he goes forward and hits the hole and usually does what the play intends. And I can't say that about Pacheco. And I don't know if our friend Elijah Mitchell has whiffed the football field yet through 2 games. And if the running game is going to keep looking like this, like what's he on the roster for if through these couple games, you're not going to get him out there? I just don't know what they're doing on the ground. And it makes me think that they're soft. I have a lot of responses, but let's do it after this break.
Cool.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Sponsor? No sponsor? No sponsor. No sponsor. Okay, got it.
We're back. Hey, we're back.
So yeah, Pacheco, I mean, I thought people were being incredibly disrespectful to him all off season. Mm-hmm. I think they might have been being too respectful after 2 games because, man, he looks bad. The entire timeline, I mostly stayed off Twitter yesterday. It was glorious. Today, all I see up and down the timeline is, bad Isiah Pacheco runs where he's missing the hole. He's not following his blocks. Mitch Schwartz just shitting all over him. His stats, 10 for 22, I think it is. There's nothing really positive to say about Pacheco. It's also, you mentioned, it's also like the year coming off the injury. Like, he should be refreshed at this point, like coming back from the injury at the end of last year. Like, that should have been the slow time, and now he should be like all the way back. You always look for that next year bump after a major injury like that. We're not seeing that so far. But man, when you talk about them being soft, it makes me think of like this off-season mantra that I heard all training camp, all preseason, about how they're playing without the pressure of the three-peat, and they're just having so much fun. And all that's equating to, in my mind, what I'm seeing is that we're getting our fucking asses kicked up front on both sides of the ball. We cannot run the ball for shit, as you've alluded to. We got free blitzers coming at Mahomes all over the place. Pat seems to have pressure every single play. And on the defensive side, we can't rush the passer. Everywhere the Chiefs need to be like nasty and play with an attitude and an edge, they are not doing that. They look like a team who's fat and happy and not moving people. They came out in the first game of the season and come out that flat. I'm sure they had to get their asses chewed at halftime, which actually took longer than it should have. A normal NFL halftime where Andy keeps them in the locker room for further ass chewing. They finally come out and play with some emotion. I think the defensive line kind of responded this week, but there's still so much money and talent on both sides of the line, and neither of them are getting the job done to any degree. And so that is extremely frustrating to watch. It seems like a team that is just kind of, I don't want to say lost their edge, but like they're not responding the way that we are used to them responding to when they get beaten or especially embarrassed. Like when we see this from Chiefs teams in the past, when it looks like they're in a corner, when they're the underdogs, that's when they respond. And it's just not what we're getting. And you can point to like the passing game and the receiver injuries if you want, but I'm not seeing it from the lines. There's no excuses up there. Those two units should be at full strength right now, and they're not getting the job done. So do better. And this offseason mantra, it's, oh yeah, the pressure's off. We had too much pressure last year, and that was what was affecting us. That's for the Super Bowl. That's why we got our ass kicked in that game. Right now it looks like I'm making an excuse to me.
Okay, I want to push back a little bit because I think that, and don't get me wrong, they set the bar really low. But I saw a team that responded and bounced back from that piss poor week 1 performance, not to the tune of winning this game. They weren't able to finish it, but especially on defense, it was night and day on defense. Were they getting enough pressure? No. Got a stat on that is still pretty staggering. Spagnuolo, my man, blitzed on 16 of 25 dropbacks, the highest single game rate in his KC tenure. We're talking about 16 out of 25 snaps is good for 64% blitz rate. And it wasn't just like a 5th guy. It was a 6th or a 7th or an 8th guy sometimes. Like Spags was just, you know what we're doing? Blitzing the lights out. And I found it kind of interesting because this is, I think it's a defense that like needs that a little bit in order to get their juices flowing. They need to build some confidence when you have a guy like Jaden Hicks that is thinking too much. Cool. We want you to play fast, so we're going to blitz you. We're going to do less thinking and more run and hit type of stuff. I liked that adjustment from him. I also just think that, like, I don't know, maybe this sounds like a fat and happy fan.
As we should be.
They're entitled to a couple stinkers, man. Like, I don't care that the team is 0-2. There are some things that if they continue, we don't have a shot. But like what I felt like I watched from both the Chiefs and the Eagles were like two teams on Sunday afternoon that like they both definitely wanted to win. But it honestly, there were times in that game where it felt like neither one of them wanted to show anything. And I don't know if it's that they're both just figuring stuff out. You know, it's early in the season and they're treating the early part of the season the way the Patriots used to. Like, well, it's just an extension of the preseason. That's not something Andy's ever done. Andy's always been, we want to come out hot because we want to get ahead of the pack, right? Like, we're going to try to build up wins early in the season so that we can get that 1 seed. And I don't know how much they care about home field advantage at this point. I mean, I'm not saying that Chiefs fans need to abandon thinking about those kinds of things, But this season, perhaps more than any other, because once again, they've got these injuries or suspensions that they're having to navigate that just throws their entire plan on offense out of whack. In a year that we walked into saying, because of some of the shifts on defense, that like we might need more offense this year, and the offense can't necessarily produce that because they're under, manned or whatever. Like, I think 0-2 is totally understandable right now. And it feels more like a season that is meant to be truly that process of like, it might be ugly early, but we're definitely going to be, as we always are, playing our best football when it matters. But maybe just the starting point was a little bit lower. Instead of starting here through that season, they got to start a little bit lower. And I'm talking with my hands a lot today, Dirk.
Well, at least it's just your hands.
It's very expressive.
At least it's only your hands. Yeah, I mean, the offense has looked clunky for so long now. It's just becoming increasingly hard to continue making excuses. I mean, my worry is that like we're all like, well, when these receivers come back, like we'll be back, which we've been saying for a long time now.
Since a calendar year. Yeah.
Since Tyreek Hill got traded, or since 2022 when we post Tyreek Hill and we somehow have the number one offense still. But I'm kind of worried, like Xavier Worthy playing with a torn labrum and a harness on his shoulder at 98 pounds, soaking wet. As soon as he gets hit again, like, is that shoulder just going to fall out again? Like that's definitely on the board. Like, I feel like a re-injury is right there. Hollywood Brown's just always banged up. He got banged up in this one. He did come back. I don't know how high the ceiling is with Hollywood Brown. I think he can be okay. If everyone were to come back, I could see him losing snaps to Tyquan Thornton, honestly. And then Rashee Rice is going to be coming back from a major knee injury. So I don't know if like I'm not going to give up hope until like we see these people, until we see one career snap with these three dudes on the field at the same time. Like that would be great to see one snap. I think maybe that preseason first snap of 2024, maybe it wasn't a regular season snap, but that might have been it. Great snap. I think, did Hollywood Brown catch that ball when he got hurt? Did he catch that? I think he might have. Yeah.
I think
I can't remember if he caught that or not, but if he did, the EPA per play of that one snap off the charts. But yeah,
you just channeled like one of my favorite energies in all of cinema when Jason Lee in Almost Famous says, "Is it that hard to make us look cool?" Like that is you right now. Can we just get one play of this offense that we've, 2 years of football? This is what Brett Veach says. This is what we're going to do on offense. And a guy that has built some offenses, right? And we just haven't been able to see it. And maybe that's the fault of him for choosing guys that make bad decisions or are fragile or, slight builds or whatever. But it sucks that they built this thing and we never get to freaking watch it.
It's just, I'm worried it's like, we're all saying win. And I'm kind of worried it's like if we get to see this offense. Like we've just been sitting here and just making this the same excuse for it over and over and over. I think it's a legitimate excuse. I get it. But if we never see it, then it doesn't really pan out at all. Let's see. I got some other points here.
Are you excited at all? You kind of joked that Mahomes is going for 1,000 yards, but like, are you excited about running Patrick Mahomes?
Great question. No.
Shut it down real fast.
It is impressive as hell, and it's worthy of praise because I get it. It's a winner's attitude. I'm taking it into my own hands. Like I'm gonna make this happen, and that's what you love about Mahomes. You love that. At the same time, I don't like it because it's way too much of it, and it's way too early. It's always felt like our don't break in case of emergency play. Like we hold it in our back pocket for like money plays, money games, third downs, playoffs, Super Bowls. Now Mahomes is basically in the first half taking a third down snap and basically running a quarterback draw. Like that play where he trucked the dude. I mean, he sat in the pocket for less than a second and then he took off running. Credit to him for getting the first down. Impressive, but it's like the only thing working, and it's just like we need more right now. Like it's not going to be enough. And I want to save that. Like, and then you see like it's not sustainable because either inside the game, the Eagles adjusted to it and then we didn't have it later on in the game. And it's not sustainable for the season because I'm worried Pat is going to get hurt running this much and taking all these hits. Like I'm worried if he's going to be trying to do this all season long, it's not going to last. He's not going to last.
Yeah, and I mean
the one thing you can't have. That's the one thing that ends the season automatically.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like we've always known that he's had it in him. I mean, some of his most unforgettable plays are runs.
Of course. Not in week one.
Correct. And so sustainability is a great word, for what we're talking about here. Like, it doesn't feel like something that you can do all year long. And honestly, the fact that a guy like Josh Allen hasn't been hurt more than he's had different things, probably from constantly putting his body on the line, including isn't it like there was like elbow stuff and some wrist, like a lot of just, mechanical things. But like the fact that he and Lamar, with as much running as they do, that they have been able to generally stay pretty healthy through their careers, that feels like the exception and not the rule. And the way that Andy, is so cagey about like not even letting Mahomes sneak and stuff like that. Like, yeah. I wonder how he's being coached in these moments of like, well, I guess if it's got to have it, I don't want to tell you not to run because it's early in the year or whatever. Like, you got to trust your instincts and whatnot. And for him, I think he just wants to win. He they say he's so obsessed with winning that like he doesn't know how to turn it off. And, there might be, he may have Andy and Nagy in his ear, like, time and place, Pat. But he's like, what else do you want me to do? I think that's, he is, in many ways, it is a last ditch effort at saving some of these plays or helping the offense get jump started. The physicality part of it, the drop, lowering his shoulder and taking punishment, or honestly, I think to be more accurate, inflicting punishment often as a quarterback, like he is doing it just to like rile up his team. He's doing it to prove a point that he can. And I definitely think that all the crap that you see in the replies on anything that he does, where it's like, I can't wait till you're near the sidelines and it's fill in the blank player and they're going to crush you. And you keep playing all this pirouette nonsense. And they just, all the internet tough guys, I guarantee the way that he sees anything else, he sees that stuff. And part of him is probably like, oh, you don't think I'm tough? You don't think I can take a hit? Let me show you. Because that's how he is. He's petty. But I am a little bit worried that, if he does it all year long, like, what do you look like in December? And what have you done to the offense that's what we now have to lean on, right? Like, that's not what Andy wants. And so let's take a break real quick and then we'll kind of refocus a little bit here.
What's good, everyone? It is KCSN betting analyst Benny Heiss. Something hit me as I was driving to the Missouri side, ironically, for something not available on the Kansas side. I cross over. I just can't get over how long sports fans in the state of Missouri have been waiting. It feels like forever. Good news is you don't have to wait much longer because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is finally coming to the Show Me State. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I got to wait on the sidelines until December 1st, it's not true. You can sign up right now. And when we go live, new Missouri customers get $300 in bonus bets just for placing a $5 bet. $5. That's not even as much as a pumpkin spice latte that's going to take over. So it's not some ragtag sports, but this is DraftKings. You got live in-game betting. So if your team starts hot, you could jump in mid-play. There's lightning fast payouts. None of that wait 3 days for your money nonsense. And you've got more ways to get in on the action. There's no better way to start. It's all from your phone. When we go live, you'll be betting with a sportsbook trusted by millions, safe, secure, fast withdrawals, everything you want. Well, except maybe a guarantee that your team will cover the spread, but that part's still on you. So here's the move. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code KCSN, and when we go live December 1st, that $5 bet turns into $300 in bonus bets. That is code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they are issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's how I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for an official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is that Dale Carter? Is that Dale Carter over there?
Is that what Dale Carter sounds like? He's got that much.
You don't know the reference.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs PA guy, whose name is Dale Carter.
Oh yeah.
Quit last week with a weird statement alongside of it. And our guy Ron Kopp at the game, boots on the ground at the game, said the new PA guy, kind of a little whiny voice, he said it wasn't getting them going for the third day. It's third down.
Yeah, he was like trying to do it's third down.
It's third down.
It's third down. That's funny. Now you're making me think of Babe.
Get them, boys.
The little mice thing. Chapter 2. You mentioned in the chat that you want to talk about the offensive line.
Well, yeah, I mean, so it seems we're kind of talking about Mahomes here. It seems like he still doesn't trust the offensive line. Whether he should or should not. He's kind of bailing on pockets. He's kind of feeling pressure that's maybe not there. He's kind of feeling pressure that is there sometimes. And it just got me thinking. I'm reading a Mitch Schwartz breakdown today where Josh Simmons is really good in pass pro. He had 0 pressures allowed in this game. Kingsley's getting better. He had some really nice one-on-one pass pros this week. Creed Humphrey is Creed Humphrey. Jawan Taylor is really good without the penalties. And I'm just thinking, man, this is a glowing review. And this Mitch Schwartz isn't just like always positive of offensive line every time. I think he's fairly critical. Do you disagree?
No, I was shaking my head like, no, he's honestly, I don't think he's very positive at all. He tends to be like I think pretty heavy-handed in the scrutiny personally.
Yeah, I agree. And so reading that is just like, okay, so we have all these good offensive linemen, but it just feels like Mahomes is getting harassed like a lot of times when he drops back. And for the life of me, I cannot make sense of it. And I can't help but think back to the Chiefs offensive line are old. Remember when we were doing these shows for a few years and they're breaking all these records on ESPN for pass rush win rate, while at the same time on PFF having like a bottom 5 offensive line. And I'm just realizing I haven't had a clue if the Chief offensive line is good or bad since the Tampa Bay Super Bowl game. At least I knew it was bad in that game, and I knew it was good before that. But since then, I have no fucking clue. It's just like we play this game every single year. We have these seemingly good offensive linemen, and yet I'm not convinced they're a good offensive line. I'm not convinced they're a bad offensive line. It's just like in peril for like 4 years straight, and I'm just like, just at least give me an answer. Or maybe try out some cheap guys so I know they're going to be bad and I don't have expectations. Like my expectations are high because we're paying these guys. We should have talent, and yet it seems like we have leaks every single week. So that's one of my frustrations. I cannot figure out this offensive line for 4 years running.
I don't disagree. And I don't know if this speaks to like a lack of engagement with the show or what I actually think it is. But like, we have joked at minimum that all these stats about like not giving up sacks from the interior and how highly they're rated and all these things, that it's like, are they that good? Are they actually that good? Like, we've been doing that for a while, and I have never, literally 0 times have I ever heard from a listener saying, hey man, I don't know, you're not really being fair. Like, that interior is super good. Like, I mean, come on, you know, like, no one is pushing back. And you know,
we need to go harder. We need to go harder.
Yeah, I need to really dig in my heels.
Creed Humphrey, terrible. Cut his ass.
Creed is good? Are you kidding me? Like, no. But I will say this, man. I feel like the cohesion is always lacking in some type of way. And I'm wondering what that does. Whether it's, you can talk about the passing game or the running game. Like, there's something that isn't there, like, always. Maybe it's the linemen don't exactly fit together, or that the scheme isn't right for the linemen that we have, or maybe the running backs aren't right for the scheme that we've got, or the running back doesn't work very well with these particular offensive linemen. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but it seems like there's something about play calling doesn't complement the talent, or the running back and the offensive line and the scheme, all of that stuff. We're not gelling, man. We're not gelling. You remember those Dr. commercial?
You
gelling? I'm so gelling, I'm like mud gelling.
You gelling, bro?
The Chiefs are not gelling on that offensive line, and they haven't been for a long time.
I actually have a butt gel pad on right. I'm gelling right now. I have a butt pad, a gel butt pad.
Hey,
I'm gelling.
Maybe you could lend it.
I can't remember the other lines. I can only remember the Magellan, and you took the Magellan line.
Yeah, it's the only one I know. Sorry. I guess I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Well, a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like Andy Heck. There's a lot of Andy Heck hate out there.
Who else? Like, what else are we gonna do? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't hate Andy Heck, but I'm like, do something, fire somebody, make a change, because I just like the change that they made this offseason was in personnel. They keep kind of tinkering with personnel. But you know, Andy likes the continuity in his coaching staff for sure. And I don't think Andy Heck's going anywhere, you know, like I don't see that.
Yeah. Has Andy ever fired anybody?
Yes. Can I ask you a question?
Did he fire or did he quit?
Yeah, I think Andy had to regretfully fire Juan Castillo. Because he like gave him he shouldn't have given him a job that he gave him. There's been a lot of talk. This is very amateur hour from way left field here, but I think it's somewhat pertinent. There's been a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk after that Super Bowl about how the Chiefs offense, despite the fact that, you know, maybe missing pieces, that like it's gotten stale. And what they really needed to do was like make an outside hire that's going to come in and do something other than Andy Reid's system. Well, hey, when I work with Sean McVay, this is how we would handle these situations. Or have you guys ever considered maybe like, and just getting a different set of eyes on stuff, or a different voice in the room to push back against some of the groupthink or the whatever you say, coach, yes man stuff that might be happening. Like, it seems like the way that fans talk, we all seem to imagine that Matt Nagy doesn't do anything. It's Andy's offense. Nags just repeats whatever Andy says, and he's a bad copy of Andy Reid or whatever, but he doesn't add anything to the table. I think that's what a lot of people believe about the offensive coordinator. And maybe they've always thought that because Andy it's Andy, you know? But like, do you buy into whether it's the softness or some of these other things that we're talking about? Is there a bit of staleness on that offense that they really could have been better served by just trying to get a new voice or something? I don't know.
I mean, I would definitely say there's some staleness. I don't know schemes and stuff too inside and out, but I would say yes, there is some staleness, but it's just it's that excuse that's just hovered over with the receiver injuries this entire time that you can't say for sure, because it's maybe these two receivers, if they were playing, the offense would look as good as it ever did. So that's just like kind of hovering the entire time that I can't give like a firm answer. With Matt Nagy, I've always been in the side of I don't think he does much. I don't think he deserves much blame. I don't think he deserves a whole lot of credit or anything, but it's just like he's not the head honcho. He's just kind of there. But the question that I kind of come back to is, why was the Chiefs offense still so good in 2022? Like that's when Matt Nagy came in. That's when Bieniemy left. And after 2022 is when Bieniemy left. Matt Nagy came in. Since then, we've had offensive struggles the last 2 years and 2 games under Matt Nagy. And it's been wide receiver stuff. But in 2022, our receivers were Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS, Justin Watson, and Mecole Hardman. And we finished that season first in yards, first in points per drive, first in passing yards, and a Super Bowl win. So I can't quite connect the dots of why that offense that year worked so well with seemingly subpar receivers when these next few years with these same quality receivers, I would say maybe a little drop off. I mean, obviously they had a horrible 2023, but they should be better than there should be about par with that 2022 class. And yet the offense has completely fallen off. And that's what I don't get. So that's kind of the question. That would be like the smoking gun that would kind of point at Matt Nagy, even though I still don't think he would be the one to blame.
I think, Dirk, there is some other stuff on our rundown that we really got to get to. I think that we need to talk a little bit about the defense before we leave today. I still personally think that we need to have at least a short conversation about Travis Kelce, maybe even beyond Travis Kelce into some of these kind of name brand Chiefs. And I got a bunch of 0-2 stuff that I can just escort us out of the show with or something.
Okay.
So shall we go defense here?
Sure. Cool. How about this? Which was worse? Chris Jones woofing about stats after the game, or Travis Kelce weirdly wearing a free 4 shirt before the game? Which of those struck you as weirder or worse? That was pretty. I saw you. Those. I was like, what?
I don't really care about the t-shirts.
What was the point?
I don't.
3-4 from what? Was he innocent?
Yeah.
Did he not get a fair? It seemed like a pretty fair suspension. I don't free him from what?
I didn't see any video or anything. I saw 2 random photographs, and then when I clicked on the story was a sentence that said Travis Kelce and Tyquan Taylor wore these shirts before the game. The end. That was it. It's not to me.
Tyshawn Taylor in there. There's Tyshawn Taylor.
I didn't think too much about the shirts. Me personally.
What about Chris Jones? Let's be late.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, jeez. Sound like a fucking loser.
I laughed at it.
Sound like a fucking loser. Make a play.
Okay, look. Here's the thing. I think that the Chiefs have had to I think we made the joke that the Chiefs became the football embodiment of QB wins. That's literally all we could say was we won, check the scoreboard. Because
what are they good at? Winning.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I think it's fair to talk, when people want to talk shit, I couldn't argue. I could literally just say we won. Who cares? And it's not a great retort, but to see that exchange, I don't know what prompted Chris Jones to say it. That's there's no mic picking up the "you suck" or whatever, thing that they said to him, because he didn't just walk up to the line and be like, you guys have 100 yards. Like, that's not unprompted. So someone else said something to him. I don't know. You're really who you mad at? Dirk?
I thought it was lame. Make a play. He had all game make a play.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean,
I didn't see Chris Jones do anything. Of course, I only watched 3/4 of the game, mind you. But I didn't see him really do anything. But that clip of him tossing Lane Johnson to the side, that was pretty impressive. I'm not sure if you saw that going around at all.
I'm not sure if I saw that one, but there's a play where he just basically, like, as soon as the ball was snapped, Landon Dickerson's coming for his chest, and he just kind of goes over him and then waits.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, just standing there waiting.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay.
I mean,
he's fine.
Dirk, I don't know, man. I mean, I get the make a play and you think it's lame and whatever, but like, the Eagles had 216 yards total on Sunday. The Chiefs have only lost one time since 2009 when they allow fewer than 229 yards. I mean, I'm going through looking at some of the stats.
Which game was that?
That was Christmas against the Raiders.
Were they talking shit after that game too?
How did that one? I remember.
How did that end with a terrible Christmas with a bunch of disappointing children?
Yeah.
Give it that present.
It was a bad day. The Chiefs defense held the Eagles to 3.72 yards per play on Sunday, the lowest that they've had since week 17 in 2020. I don't know, man. I felt like the defense, honestly, apart from a 28-yard completion to Devontae Smith that was a literal prayer by Jalen Hurts, and then like some tush pushes that obviously we saw the false start stuff, but like the Chiefs allowing them, it would be like 3rd and 12, or maybe let's call it Chiefs get a run stop on first down. It's 2nd and 13, but then they let them get to 3rd and 3. And so they can run the tush push twice. That was a little bit frustrating, allowing them to get into those situations. But ultimately, man, especially in the first half, I hate to tell you, they really played some amazing football while you were watching that Giants game.
I knew it.
Brian Cook was the Chiefs' best defensive player on Sunday. He was absolutely all over the field, man alive, playing like an absolute animal. He was magnificent, frankly. I thought that Jones had a better day than you did. I don't know that he was like fully dominant, you know. I didn't think that there was like a moment where he had a chance to make a play and he didn't. I don't know, man. To me, I feel like this game came down to the turnover. And I don't have a whole lot of negatives to say about the defense. I thought they were pretty fantastic. The only play that irritated me, aside from the tush push, was that one downfield throw. And it wasn't like McDuffie's fault, really. It was just this, you know, just he read it wrong and whatever, and it just happens. Beyond that, their next longest game, they did not have another play that went over 10 yards. 28 yards to Devontae Smith, and every other play was single digits.
Wow.
Like the Chiefs shut that offense down, really.
Yeah, so I don't think Chris Jones like played terrible or anything. It's just like I'm mad at the entire pass rush in general. Like the pass rush is so anemic right now. It's just like across the board. And Chris Jones is kind of the head honcho there, so he kind of falls on the sword.
The CEO of Sack Nation.
Oh my god,
that he is. That's his title.
That's great. Maybe
don't deny him his title.
Maybe demotion sweet. All right. I wasn't even mad at the throw up play. I think it's a smart play by Jalen Hurts. That's what you should do if it's one-on-one coverage. And it's almost an impossible play by McDuffie. I mean, if you have to turn around, locate that ball. It's underthrown like that. The receiver just has every single advantage to turn around, play that ball, and not commit PI. Nearly impossible. So a tough play, but a smart play from the Eagles, and that's all they're going to do. That's what they should have done more often since we kept bringing the house like that. The one play I was mad at was the final drive where they get 9 yards in that first down when everybody knows they're running. Like they did a great job against the running game all day long. And then it's like, okay, we need like a 3 and out here. We know they're running the ball. We should have everybody press up against that line. And that 1st and 10, they gain 9 yards, essentially ends the game. So that was kind of the one play that I was frustrated. But the secondary is by far the biggest positive here from the game, based on how awful they looked last week, and they just looked fantastic this week. Either that or the Eagles just present no passing game whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there wasn't people open. They were all over. Even AJ Brown, like this miraculous tipped catch while he's falling down to the ground on a 3rd down. Like it took some unbelievable plays just for them to get to 101 passing yards. So tip of the cap to the secondary. That was a huge sigh of relief. And doing all that while not getting a pass rush with 4 or completely bringing in the house. So they're all in single coverage, basically. So defensive backs rooms, a lot of positives to see there. And that's kind of the biggest positive moving forward, is that like maybe this pass defense can figure it out. Whereas last week, that was kind of my biggest worry. Like, I don't know how this pass defense figures it out, but they played much, much better. We didn't see Chard Murray get worked at all. I thought maybe that's just because the Eagles weren't really in 3 receivers with him in the slot. He was still out there for every play. I think he had the highest PFF grade on the team, maybe on the defense, but
he had a couple really nice tackles in that first quarter.
He had a missed one too. Yeah, I saw your tweet about him making a tackle. I saw him miss a tackle later on, but that's just Saquon Barkley. That's okay. So yeah, defense in general, very proud of them. Happy with what they did. That's
and they did it without Christian Fulton again.
Yeah,
I mean he basically didn't play. They didn't have Mike Dana either. Both of them got hurt very early in the game, and were ruled out, I think, inside of the first quarter. And look, I mean, you called him milk carton, and it's kind of where we're at with Mike Dana. And I bet, like,
was he out there this week?
He got hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah. Didn't notice.
He seemed like the way that they've talked about him historically. I bet the guy is just hating the way that he's been playing. Do
you think the pass rush comes back? I mean, you could make the argument that the Chargers and Eagles are two of the, Chargers now, I don't know how they'd grade out. I mean, obviously Alt is fantastic, but Eagles probably have the best offensive line in the NFL. Chargers, call it maybe top 5, top 10.
Well, I mean, they lost Slater, and so they're playing Trey Pipkins, who has been abused by a lot of teams, including the Chiefs occasionally. But man, it seems like this team, and maybe I had the perception wrong, but this team never seems to figure it out against backups, man. It's like, oh, hey, look at the guy that they're going to be able to take advantage of at right tackle today, and then we don't get a single pressure on the guy.
That's like a 2016 callback, isn't it? That's from way back.
I feel like it happens all the time.
That was
is the pass rush going to come back? I mean, I was honestly I don't know. I don't know if we're a Clowney suitor. But seeing that, well, that's what I'm saying. Is like seeing that he just signed like a 1 year for like $3 million and $4 million with escalators. Like, I'll take Jadeveon Clowney. He certainly fits what you want to do, Spags. He's oversized. He can play inside if you want. Like, he's probably much better against the run than the pass. Like, all these different things. Like, he's built to play for the Chiefs, especially 29-year-old Clowney or whatever he is now.
How about this? If the Chiefs were to bring in like a solid B grade player at one of these positions, which would you go with? Running back, receiver, or pass rusher? Which room would you like to add to?
Is it like someone off the street, or we're talking about like Veach goes out and makes a trade?
Probably, yeah, call it a trade. Like a solid player that we're excited about.
Running back.
Tyler Algier was like my hope, but I think the Falcons are going to be too good. I don't think they'll be in a position to trade him, but he was like the prime. I think
he's got to be close to he got to be close to a contract year and about to be, the next Michael Turner or whatever, the dude that's just been sitting for 4 years.
I think he's really good, but I honestly think the Falcons are going to be competing, so I don't think they'll be.
I think he had 1,000 yards as an undrafted rookie.
He's always above 5 yards per attempt. He's good, but
yeah, I mean, I would take a running back. Let's talk 0-2.
Okay.
First time in the Mahomes era. They're also saying that It's the first time that we've ever lost 3 games in a row.
Mahomes has ever lost 3 games in a row, yeah.
And I look, that doesn't count. It started last season and carried over to this season. I'm sorry, it doesn't count. It's not a 3-game losing streak to me.
Stuck on that, haters.
So the Chiefs are
0-2 3 in a row,
and they've only lost 2.
Yeah,
and that's all.
Unless we lose to the Giants, and then we've lost 4 in a row. Then it retroactively does count.
Then it becomes 4. Okay, losing to the Giants counts as 2.
It's like 1.5. Yeah.
First Chiefs team to be 0-2 since 2014. I think a lot of people have seen, harken back to that year where the Chiefs missed the playoffs. I think the only time in Andy's tenure that they didn't make the playoffs.
Yep.
The Chiefs have only made the playoffs after starting 0-2 one time out of the 15 times that they've done it in their team history. How about some other random 0-2s?
Wait, what year was it? You don't know? Do you know the year?
I didn't see that. No, that was thanks to Vahe, but he didn't tell us which year.
Thanks, Vahe.
How about this?
Paying that subscription.
Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, are currently ranked at 0-2, the first team to be ranked after 2 winless games since 1988.
0-2 is back. 0-2 is back. It's so hot right now.
Right.
What are these fools doing with 2-0?
So how about this? Since 1990, conference realignment. All right. So we're talking about the last 36 years of football. During that time, teams that have started 0-2 only have a 10% success rate of getting to the playoffs. Okay. 10% of teams over the last 36 years that start 0-2 get to the playoffs. We have 17 division winners in there. We have 3 Super Bowl champions. The last Super Bowl winner that started 0-2, I believe, was 2007.
Giants?
The Giants, yes, in 2007. And the note on that one from our friend Bill Barnwell was that the Giants somehow remembered to play defense at halftime of week 3. And that's when their season turned around.
Maybe we'll remember spots.
But 93 Cowboys started 0-2. 2001 Patriots started 0-2, and then Tom Brady made his first start in week 3. And they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. But look, I can also see that just last year, the Broncos, Rams, and Ravens all made the playoffs after starting 0-2. But in 2023, 1 of 8 teams did it, the Houston Texans. In 2022, only 1 of 5 teams made the playoffs after starting 0-2, the Bengals. On Sunday night against the Giants, first pair of 0-2 teams on Sunday Night Football since 2002. Sunday Night Football really been like the crown jewel for the NFL more than Monday Night Football for quite a long time now. Giants.
At least they get one exciting team. The Giants are going to show up.
How about this? You want to talk about these 0-2s and everyone's maybe in Chiefs Kingdom. Maybe there are a bunch of Chiefs fans that are just pissed that we're 0-2. Be glad you're not a Giants fan. Giants have started 0-2 7 of the last 9 seasons. How about that one? They were asked, and by they I mean the royal they, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick was asked, how do you think the team is going to respond to being 0-2? And his response was, we're just going to go to work.
I liked we're gonna challenge them and see who responds. It was kind of a.
He said he's like, I think it's by just working. He's like, I know this team and we're gonna work. I
got no doubt Mahomes gonna respond.
Yeah. I mean, he's not disappointing anybody right now. They're in an interesting spot, man. Do you feel much pressure about this Giants game at all?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a must win.
If
you're 0-3 and then you're playing the Ravens and then the Lions, I think next week. Yeah,
it was easily the most winnable game in this early stretch.
because we got, I know Jags are in there. That might be the 5th game. Lions and Ravens are the first 6 here. I mean, 2 and 4 is clearly on the board. You're kind of hoping for 3 and 3 at this point to go 3 and 1 against those 4 teams with Rashid still out, Worthy still banged up. Like I would totally sign up for 3 and 3, which is a weird thing to say of this Chiefs era, but at this point, I mean, which means you got to win that Giants game.
I mean, honestly, man, it's possible that they're 3 and 6, 3 and 7. Like that, it's a pretty rough schedule.
I thought I was being dark.
Well, Rashid,
I was being dark. You just said 3 and 7,
5, 6. So Rashid comes back after the Lions, and at that point, like, let's just say that the Chiefs win the games they're supposed to and lose the games they're supposed to over the next couple weeks, and let's just presume that Worthy is not playing football or not effective at playing football. That would put them at 2 and 4 when Rashid comes back, losing to the Lions and the Ravens and beating the Giants and Jaguars. Okay, so you're sitting at 2 and 4 at that point, and Rashid comes back, and your next 5 games are Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts. You know, I don't know if the Colts have any kind of sustainability, but the Raiders are going to play us tough just because they're the Raiders. And you're talking about teams like the Commanders and at the Bills and at the Broncos. Like, it will be okay if the Chiefs are sitting there at 3 and 6 or 3 and 7, because they can still. I'm telling you,
3 and 7. They'll be okay at 3 and 7.
Yeah. Have you seen the back half of the schedule? It really opens up, man. It really opens up. Now, don't get me wrong. Hey, maybe the Texans are competitive in December. Okay.
3 and 7.
You know, maybe the Titans are competitive in December. But yeah, man, like they're in a tough spot. They are in a tough spot.
Producer Nick would be okay at the 5 and 5. He would kill himself if they're 3 and 6. You're trying to kill our producer. We're gonna kill that poor man.
Look, maybe I'm just trying to like do the front end. Like I'm just gonna do my worrying now, you know. Like I just prepare myself for all the possibilities. It's my process.
I gotta tell you, if we're 3 and 7, I don't think we'll be doing this show. I mean, we won't have a producer, first thing. I will be in no mood. At least I'll get to see it, maybe.
Yeah.
You want to talk Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I want to talk about Travis Kelce, and then we should get out of here. Maybe some sports nuts, huh? But the last 2 games, he's potentially had the worst play in each. He hurt Xavier Worthy because he ran a bad route, and then he dropped a crucial ball that totally swung the game. I mean, is he shaving points to pay for the wedding? Like, I don't understand.
That's what they need. That's what they need. More money.
What is happening with Travis Kelce? Let me ask you this.
A lot of barking, too.
What's the plan for Travis? Because he had career lows in a host of categories, despite playing like a zillion snaps last year. So like I have been asking myself, and there was, I'm sure, plenty of talk about this in the off season, but is this one of those scenarios where like if he's active, Andy and Patrick can't help themselves? I don't know if it's shades of like Spag Sorensen dynamic. You know, people always want to make the joke about like Moneyball. Well, you can't play Pena at first because I traded him to Detroit. Like, I don't know if just it's Travis and he, you know, he's earned the right to be Patrick's first read all the time or what. It hasn't necessarily felt forced through the first couple games.
Yeah, I don't.
Did see he was like number 1 rated separation score in week 2, whatever the heck that means. But I worry about how much like air in the offense he's taking up. Not that we have like some amazing alternative at tight end. But because I guess, I don't know, they're not at full strength. Like it's tough. It's tough to have the conversation because of where they are at, you know.
Again, we're back to the same cloud. the same shit cloud just hanging over this team of what happens if these two receivers come back, if it ever happens. I think he had a couple of nice plays in this game too, so it wasn't all bad. Like he had a really nice shoestring catch. It was a big play, it was like a third down maybe. He also roasted Cooper DeJean at one point.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
holding the ball out, and
the holding the ball out was a bit much. Let's reel that in. We don't need to. That could have easily been on this list of mistakes as well. But yeah, I still don't know. Like last week, I don't know if that's totally on him or if he's just taking the blame kind of thing. I never got like a firm answer on that. The drop this week, it's my first read was that the throw was early. I know Mahomes had to squeeze it in there, but like when Kelce turns his head around, like that's an extremely tough catch because you can tell his head kind of turns around, but he doesn't locate the ball. Then as soon as he does, he kind of flings his hands at it, and it was kind of too late, and it just kind of bounces off them. You could easily just say that Kelce didn't get his head around quick enough is probably the easiest answer here, because Mahomes, there was like a linebacker sitting in the middle. He did have to like kind of squeeze it in, and it's there. So I'm not sure what the delay was there, if anything. But so that was kind of weird play. So it's kind of cloudy on these. I don't know what you want to do. I mean, he's kind of just there. I don't think he's our first read that much, but he's probably the only guy that Mahomes really trusts right now. Like Juju probably. Like we even lost like Jerk McChicken, who he trusted, kind of thing. Like there's not a lot of guys that Mahomes is trusting out there as receivers. So
I honestly, it's kind of my bad because I didn't go back and read exactly what I had in my notes, and that was a before the season take. What's it gonna look like, sort of thing. And we're 2 games in, and Kelce hasn't exactly like been a problem. I'm not like, why does he have 28 targets through 2 games? Like that's not happening right now, despite those losses in the receiver room. I want to compliment him because I do think that he looks more active, and they definitely got like the energy message. There was no question that they came out a lot more energetic, and he especially every time he caught the ball, he's I have the power.
There's a lot of woofing, a lot of barking. Sometimes it's kind of tough because like he's kind of like the emotional leader and like people want to follow him. But if he's kind of losing it, then it's kind of hard for him to be like that same leader kind of thing. Like it's hard to be like not be one of the best players, but be the emotional leader like that. So it could be kind of a tough spot. But
I think there might have been a season or two where Travis was like trying to transition from who he used to be to like the leader guy now, and people are like, "Are you sure, Travis?"
Well, I'll never forget when we had the pregame.
Take you seriously.
They had the pregame segment before the Patriots season opener, and he was like, "I'm a changed man," because he had that personal foul. He had a couple personal fouls against the Steelers in that playoff game, and he's like, "I'm a new man, I'm a new leader." And then he comes out in the Patriots game and gets a personal foul in the first quarter, and was like, "Thanks, Trav. Really a new guy."
Honestly, that was like we hadn't hit 2019 yet, so we weren't at our peak, but that
we were mad.
So peak amateur hour.
We were mad.
Travis giving you the whole, it was like a 10-minute interview before that game. The big highlight, let's talk to Travis Kelce, and he's saying, I'm turning over a new leaf, and then bam. Honestly, not too dissimilar from the way that these injuries keep happening. Like, oh, cool, here come the high-flying Chiefs. Nah, that's what you thought. Whew.
All right, new segment?
Yeah.
All right, we kind of debuted this last week. We're gonna try and do this here at the end of the pod. We want to just put our fandom on display in a new segment we like to call Sports Nuts.
You're sports nut, huh?
Sports nut, huh?
What a sports nut.
The accent gets stronger every time I hear it. All right, Ryan, you want to go first? We're going to kind of each just share a story of our fandom with the Chiefs. I mean, typically with the Chiefs or whatever. We can take it wherever. But what do you got this week, Ryan?
I think this is the first time that during a Chiefs game, I had like familial responsibilities.
Uh-oh.
And so, I'm sitting there in the first quarter,
Because you have a child or something, right?
My wife's like trying to get ready, and she brings me and hands me the baby. And I'm like, I'm holding her. I'm like, what? And she just looks.
Are you holding it? Are you holding it out like Travis Kelce? Like,
that's where I'm at. I'm like, honey, we didn't discuss this at all. And I mean, you got to know my wife, but it's just a blank stare. Like, you're really gonna try to hand me that baby back right now? I don't know what other people's houses are like. Okay, like I know that there are probably plenty of men, and whether it is true or not, they will tell you, oh, the women folk, they don't even talk to me during the football game. Like, no, you're not even allowed in the room. They would never ask me to do anything. I'm not going to lift a finger. I'm watching football. Sundays for me, right?
You're taking my sports nuts.
But I'm telling you, that's not my house. And life comes at you fast, because I was not anticipating any real change to my football routine this season, despite the fact that I've got, a budding toddler here. And so I guess my sports nuts for this week is really just that I want to applaud all of the parents out there that are somehow still fully dedicated Chiefs fans, because boy, I've been starting to think about like how having kids is going to affect me being a Chiefs fan, and even just like watching the game on time, not missing stuff because somebody spilled their juice or whatever. And I'm not ready. There's already a baby in the house, and I'm not ready for that change.
It's
I just hope that football mostly stays the same until Patrick Mahomes retires, and then whatever happens, it happens.
It's like going to a primetime game with drunk Dirk back in the day and trying to reel me in. Spilling my juice.
So like, just if you guys weren't around, there was once a time where we went out with our good friend Nick Wright and like got fully blackout drunk. And I asked a mutual friend of ours to watch Dirk for a couple minutes. Just watch him. I got to go get the car. And Dirk just disappeared. Couldn't find him. Wasn't answering his phone. He woke up at his parents' house the next morning. He like took a taxi home and gave, "What's your address?" And he gave his high school address. And didn't even really know where he woke up.
I think that's on my
sometimes you had to keep an eye on old Dirk. He's squirrely.
All right. Those were the times.
It's good.
All right. Sports nuts over here.
Was that the same night that I fell down the stairs in front of Glenn Dorsey? Fell down the stairs at his feet. That was a while.
Yeah. So the game ends on Sunday. I'm pissed off. Obviously, we need to go walk the dog.
Right.
And I'm anxious to get out of the house after that crap. So yeah, let's go. But there's like a bunch of people outside my house. Like I living close to the beach, and there's a beach concert going on. So there's all these people walking around. And where I live, there's NFL fans from all over the place. There's no like one team's fan. So there's gonna be Eagles fans along the way. There's gonna be all kinds of fans. None of them like the Chiefs. And for the first time in a long time, I actually changed my clothing when I left the house. I changed out of the Chiefs shirt and put on something else because I was not in the mood to be heckled. It was like, I'm not like bailing on the Chiefs or whatever. I was just like, I'm not in the mood to be a heckler. I don't want to walk out here and see a fucking Eagles fan and have him say anything because I'm just not in the mood. I don't want to hear it. And so I can't even remember the last time that like I literally changed out of a Chiefs shirt. But I sat there at the door and I pondered it. And then walked back and changed shirts, and then we went on the walk. So that was my fan moment of the week. I hadn't felt that in a long time. Usually I'm just wearing the Chiefs loud and proud after like, fuck, we lost, who cares? But this 2.5 game losing streak's just been hard on Uncle Dirk. It's mostly the Eagles fans, man. There's Eagles fans everywhere. I can't get away from them. Get them out of my life.
There is one pair of Eagles fans at my church, and they are both husband and wife, 6'2" or higher. I mean, and like at my church on Sundays, I mean, it's red big time, and they like lean into it. And then you see these two people towering over everybody in their Eagles gear every Sunday. And like, good for them. They're nice people. I've met them, you know. But I hate them.
God bless them. I hate them.
They're nice. God bless. I hate you. No, I hate your football team. Look, the Chiefs are 0-2. They're going to play the equally lowly New York Giants on Sunday night on NBC. Who is Chris Collinsworth going to target this time, Dirk? Whose career is he going to ruin?
Robert Tonyan.
Oh, Big Bob. All right.
Is this the guy that Aaron Rodgers used to throw to?
I didn't know you had it in you. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right, folks. This is a pretty classic 77-minute episode of Amateur Hour. I am Ryan Scott Hall. He's his Dirkness. And, you know, let's see these Chiefs start turning it around on their route to 3-7. We'll be okay.
3-7.